lot of talk lately in the reptile community on YouTube, around the US, that could affect many people's rights to keep exotic animals. My name's Dylan Schultz, you're watching Prehistoric Companions, and of course today, if you haven't already heard, I'm talking about the Lacey Act. Detailed within a bill, the Lacey Act combats illegal trafficking of wildlife, fish, and plants. The American Competes Act of 2022 is quite an extensive bill that hopes to boost the American economy. But somewhere detailed within this enormous stack of this bill is a section that could affect everybody. As mentioned, the Lacey Act helps restrict the movement across state lines or into certain areas, the movement of wildlife, plants, and fish. So this here is Vegeta. He is a male banana pastel GHI het hypo ball python, aka royal python. He is the first snake that I have ever had the pleasure of being able to keep in my care. Now fortunately I don't live somewhere where I run the possibility of this species might being able to take over an ecosystem, a lot like what people are seeing that has been happening in Florida for many years now with the Burmese pythons and rock pythons, essentially decimating the local wildlife. But if I were to live somewhere that has a lot of regulations in place that really restrict your ability to keep certain potentially invasive species, run the risk of being blacklisted, essentially meaning that depending on where you're located in the US or in the world, you're not allowed to have them. Because many people are really afraid of the risk of local ecosystems being disrupted and unbalanced. I absolutely adore all of my specimens, and honestly, I can't imagine living day to day not being able to keep them in my care and just looking at them, caring for them, observing them, and just being able to appreciate them. Many people in the reptile community are really starting to begin to express a lot of concern about what this bill, if it is passed, what it will mean for them and their passion for keeping exotic animals. I've been seeing a lot of talk about the topic, and I figured I'd do a little bit of investigating myself and post a video giving my 2 cents on the issue. So with this being said, let's go ahead and roll the intro, let's take care of some animals, let's talk about this bill, and let's have some fun here in the reptile room. I just introduced Linguini to her brand new habitat. I had just finished about 2 weeks ago customizing a 40-gallon Exoterra tank, bioactive, living plants. This boa seems to be taking to the environment steadily. Got a nice water feature with some live aquatic plants, got a filter, nice water trickling, nice pothos and sigonium. Periodically throughout the day I have a fogger that will come on to help maintain a relative humidity level around the 60 to 70 percentile, which the boa seems to enjoy. And this is something that I just absolutely love doing within the reptile hobby ever since I started doing this a couple years ago, getting really hot and heavy into keeping reptiles and learning so much about different species, how to take care of them, and not just keeping them, but creating like these habitats for them that function the way that they need them to, and seeing them just explore their environment. It is just, it's therapy for me. Linguini seems to enjoy this ledge up here. Once these lights go out, Linguini will begin to explore around her habitat. This big girl, Cleo, she's a citrus pastel female ball python. I've been pairing her with my pied male ball python. I suspect she's ovulating, she's getting quite thick. She just shed out. Hopefully within the next 2 months I should anticipate a clutch of eggs. Now if this bill were to go through and pass, what I'm trying to do as far as starting my own reptile company, reptile education, breeding, and being engaged here on YouTube, eventually maybe people might want to reach out to me and purchase a specimen that I produced. If this bill passes, that will ultimately prevent my ability to send baby ball pythons or any other species I intend to work with across any state line. Now here is Danger Noodle, the male I'm pairing with Cleo. So this bill will severely impact anyone who is working with exotic animals and it is their primary source of income or their passion, their hobby, their side hustle. It will prevent anybody who is working with exotic animals such as ball pythons or large constrictors, reptiles across the board, amphibians, birds, fish. It'll prevent you from conducting the life that you want. It'll prevent you from operation. It'll just be not good for so many people that are responsible, love their animals unconditionally, and are spreading the passion and love of keeping exotic animals. This here is Looney. As you can tell, she is a freaking nut. This is such a squirmy, this is a high white Pueblo milk snake. And she, as the name suggests, Looney, she is just crazy. She's Looney Tunes. Such beautiful colors, the red and yellow and black stripes. So how can you help with the reptile community? How can you help prevent this bill from being implemented? It started to go into effect, I believe, February 4th. It's on its way to Senate, and if it passes there, next step is on up to the president, and if he signs the bill, of course, it's like 3,000 pages long, and I highly doubt he even knows that the Lacey Act is implemented with inside of it. If you have to go and see a vet across state lines, I live kind of southern New Mexico, so occasionally, periodically, I have to go and see a specialist down in El Paso, Texas, and that's not that far away from where I'm at. So if this bill passes, then it's going to be a lot more difficult for me to try and find someone that I can trust with my animals and keep them healthy in case something happens with any of my specimens. In the description below, you'll find a couple of links to USARK, United States Association of Reptile Keepers. I definitely intend to make a decent donation. I can't really afford a whole lot, but something is better than nothing. $5, $10, $20, donate whatever you can. The link is in the description below. I certainly intend to create a sample letter myself, write up something. I definitely don't want to be hostile. No one reacts to hostility well. It's my goal to be very polite and really just express within the letter, short and sweet, so I'm sure they get bombarded with letters constantly all day. So I want to get to the point. I want to let them know, look, myself and so many other people really care about the exotic animal keepers community. There's a lot of really great and passionate people that are good for the hobby. Yeah, maybe there's some people that aren't so great for the hobby and probably ruin a lot of things for the rest of everybody. But still, I want to be polite, I want to get to the point, I want to let them know and express my concern and why I think that this shouldn't be passed. Not the whole bill, but just the Lacey Act. Take that piece out of it, because the rest of the bill itself is actually really great. It intends to, from what I've heard, boost American economy, possibly create more jobs and opportunities for people. It's a great bill, but this component of it is going to be detrimental to so many people that love keeping exotic animals. For me, like I had mentioned earlier, this is my sanity. This is my mental health. I love coming home after a hard day of work and just spending time with my animals and being able to create custom habitats for them and watching them thrive and be just so healthy, and can't imagine not having them. My gosh, Looney, it's nuts. Hey, look how crazy this thing is. This is a female, high white, Pueblo milk snake. It's a growing girl. She's still got some growing to do, but such an amazing animal here. So I've got some roaches to feed. I breed all of my own high quality feeders for the animals that I have here. Really helps with costs. I produce my own quality feeders not having to constantly go to Petco or PetSmart to purchase expensive feeders that are often dead or dehydrated, not gut-loaded. So I have here a nice hefty plate of apples, nectarine, collard greens, zucchini, and I've got a nice supplement. I got some roach chow, cricket chow, and I've added in some bee pollen, a little extra booster. Really trying to amp up my whole process. I would love to be able to provide other people in my local area or in the community with high quality duvia roaches, Madagascar hissers. I just acquired a red runner colony. Trying to acquire some different quality feeders and add diversity. It's good to diversify your animal's diet. So USARK is a nonprofit organization. They get their funding through people like me, people like you, that are passionate and care about our rights and our ability to have better quality lives by keeping such exotic animals. And in my opinion, it might not just stop there with the ban of fish and birds and many reptile and amphibian species from crossing state lines, but who knows, one day if this were to take effect, there are animal rights groups like PETA that really, I think, don't want you to keep anything. Unfortunately, like I had mentioned, there's a lot of really great people for the community, but then you also got the other side of the spectrum where you got a lot of people that are probably going to ruin it for a lot of people. Nonetheless, we just want to try, as pet keepers, pet owners, everyone, we just got to try and do the right thing. We bring these animals into this world, we give them life. It's our responsibility to take quality care of them, keep them safe, keep them indoors, keep them out of the wild where they're disrupting the balance of the natural world. Move some of this egg crate aside. Got lots of nice dubia nymphs in here, high quality feeders. I'm going to take out some of this old food and put in new food. Give those guys some nice greens, maybe a little nectarine slice, some zucchini, little slice of apple. So I like to diversify the feeders' diet as well. Just that way they have all the different minerals and things that are going to be extra healthy for my animals. Now, believe it or not, many senators or political representatives may not even be totally aware. It seems that keeping lizards and snakes and reptiles and amphibians and a lot of exotic animals in tanks is a normal thing. They're not reptile people or really animal people, a lot of them, so it's our job to educate them because they're just simply kind of unaware about what it is that we're concerned about. If you reach out to your local senators, send them an email, be polite, be respectful, and just educate them, let them know what your concern is so that they can help us out. That is all we can do, is just try to be informative and really spread as much education and let these people know why it is we do what we do and how good it is actually for us, for the economy, and for preserving nature. If we continue producing captive bred animals that are healthy and we can enjoy in our homes, that decreases how many animals are being taken from the wild to feed the hobby and the industry, so it is preserving nature in my opinion. So I have here Pixiocephalus adspersus. This is a giant African bullfrog. It's a young one, but boy, this thing is gonna get big. I have some dusted dubias here, dusted in calcium and herptivite vitamins. Oh, snap, 2 at once. So I've spoken with some people, including my mom, about this bill, and they seem to think that many people are just blowing things a little bit out of proportion. And I'm not gonna lie, when these sort of things, and when it comes to politics, it does kind of seem that the topic kind of does get blown really out of proportion. I really hope that is the case with this bill, and that people are just over worrying and ultimately it won't really be that harmful or detrimental to the hobby. But better safe than sorry. Go ahead and still try to contact your local state senators. Let them know how you feel. If this bill were to pass, you can no longer acquire animals from out of state. The animals that we do currently have in captivity, they're not going to take them away from you, but we're going to have a lot of issues running into not diversifying genetic pool. What that essentially means is whatever ball pythons are here in the state of New Mexico, If we're breeding everything that we have just here in New Mexico, at some point we might run the issue of too much line breeding or inbreeding, not really diversifying the genetic pool, and that might start causing some genetic anomalies and our animals can't be as healthy as they possibly can. If this bill were to happen, it would just affect so many facets of the hobby. And like I said, there's lots of information out there, so check out other videos on YouTube, really try to hear everyone's point of view and their thoughts on the topic, and make a donation to USARK, whatever you can afford, so that they can fight for our rights and make any bit of difference that will allow us to keep reptile businesses in operation and keep spreading the love and passion for exotic creatures. Give this thing one more here. Nice. So hey, I hope everyone found this video informative. Hopefully we can all come together and fight for our rights so we can continue to keep and cherish and love the companions that we have in our homes. Don't forget to check out the link in the description below for more information, links to sample letters, links to USARK. Please make a donation, they're fighting for our rights. Also check out other videos out there, there's lots of information about this pressing issue. So again, my name is Dylan Schultz, you're watching Prehistoric Companions. You guys have an amazing and safe week. Be kind to everyone, be kind to animals, and I'll see you guys in the next one, alright? Peace.